Watch me whip, watch me nay nay. Watch me whip, whip, watch me nay nay. Now watch me whip, watch me nay nay. Watch me whip, whip, watch me nay nay. Okay, nay nay, watch me nay. Hey, welcome to my outdoor studio in beautiful Los Angeles, California. You know, sometimes you just got to get away from the heat of the city and just soak it all in. Today I wanted to talk about my single Are You Okay that dropped on Aryay. I want to talk about the lead vocal synth and how it was made in the drop, and pretty much just give you guys a rundown of how I did all that. So let's get into it real quick. First, let me play it for you guys just so you can get an idea of what it sounds like. The original drop didn't sound anything like that. It was way worse. And I remember really struggling to make a drop. And normally when I struggle to make a drop, I look to the sky for help. Pitch the vocal up. Thanks, Ghosty. So, yeah, Ghosty told me to pitch the vocal up. The way that sound was made was with my brother's vocal that we actually recorded on an iPhone. Low budget, pro tip, use an iPhone for everything. And you could hear it here. And it was totally an accident. It just like kind of got lodged in there and I was like, oh shit, that sounds really awesome. So yeah, it's just the word, him saying okay. And then if you pitch it up, it sounds like that. And now the processing on it is pretty simple. It's just stuff to make it sound really fat and really in your face. The first thing we have is an EQ, Pro Q2. And I'm rolling off a lot of the low end, anything below below 178, because I don't want it to fight with the low end frequencies. Dipping out over here, I guess this was a really problem area. And especially because I recorded on an iPhone, it brought up all this low end that was unwanted. So I'm gonna take off the EQ so you can hear what it sounds like without it. You can see it has like this weird, so that's without it, and then this is with it. It just cleans up all the low end that I didn't want and makes it, I even rolled off, I think, a little top end because it was a little nasty frequency. After that, we have a transient master by Native Instruments. I chose the preset attack softener. This is literally because the transient was too loud, so I just wanted to take some of that stab away. Then we have some subtle compression with the glue, long attack, long release, like 8 dB. I guess it's not that subtle, but the idea was to make the sound more in your face. And then I took Native Instruments Supercharger and put that more in your face. Chose the vocal preset, kind of cranked it. And that's only doing 4 dB of compression, nothing crazy. And then I remember after compressing it so much, it brought up all this low end because when you compress something, it brings up all the volume. So I wanted to re-roll off all the low end. So I had a second EQ and I chose the side function. You see the little S? You could choose mid-side. I wanted it to be a little wider, so I boosted the middle frequency, like 550, it says, and I just boosted the side 3 dB. I thought that sounded kind of dope. Other than that, everything sounds as swaggy as it does because there is a limiter on it, Fruity limiter. I'm not going to teach you how to sidechain things, but you can use the Fruity limiter to sidechain. There's a million tutorials on YouTube, and that's kind of how, without it, it sounds like this. The limiter, the sidechain really just makes it way swaggier, way doper, so you can hear it. And this is sending, channel 2 is sending to mix bus, or sends 1, 2, and 3. And these all have Fruity limiters at the bottom of their chain to do the same thing. Just to, all the effects that I'm adding, I'm sidechaining 4 to the floor, just to like make it swaggier. There's the guitar rigs. All these really are our reverbs. There's nothing crazy going on here. Then there's the acoustics to widen it to make the sound fatter and wider. And then there's Fab Filter Saturn to give it some color, and an EQ probably to roll off, to roll off a little low end that the color added and boost a little mid frequency. Other than that, that's literally, everything I did was on audio, and then I did a little MIDI editing here too. You could just use the slide notes to get these like effects where it sounds like it's sliding, it's gliding a bit. But yeah, that was really it. That's the whole lead drop. Thank you guys for joining me again out here in beautiful Los Angeles. One last thing before we go, I wanted to give you a pro tip. You don't always have to use the Lex Luger air horn. Sometimes you just want to be out in nature and use natural sounds. And I'm a firm believer of DIY. So that being said,
Real Ass Line.